Pipe down, Karen. Pipe down. Welcome back to my channel. It's the one and the only Mimi. If you're new here, make sure you click that red subscribe button to join my squad. I mean, let's be real. You're probably sitting at home on your bed right now and you're not subscribed to me. Subscribe. So I heard y'all wanted the tea. Guess what? I'm serving it piping hot. So this story time, yes, story time. I haven't did one in a long time, but it's all good. It's all good. So this story time is basically about how my ex-boss made me cry at work. I've talked about this job and talked about this boss in my other videos about my boss from hell story, and it's the same one. So I'm gonna name her Karen because she is a Karen. Like, that's not her name, but she is a Karen. If you're familiar with TikTok, you know what Karen means. Like, she's a Karen for real. So I remember this, it had to be either in December or January-ish, that time, because I know that it was snowing. It was snowing and we had a 2-hour delay. Okay, a 2-hour delay for me, for what I understand, is a 2-hour delay. Like, for me being in school and stuff, that means you come 2 hours later than what you came in the regular time. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's just to my knowledge, to, you know what I'm saying, just to help y'all understand what this story is gonna be about. So we had a 2-hour delay, and I'm thinking that I come in 2 hours later than what I originally came in. So let's say I was supposed to be at work at like 8:30. So I'm like 2 hours from 8:30, you know, is what? Okay, I'm supposed to come in at like what, 10:30? Cool. So I'm like already, I'm like getting myself ready, and it's like, I have a daughter, so I'm not just getting myself ready. I have to get my daughter ready, make sure she's situated, make sure she has something to eat, make sure she's ready to go over to whoever is going to be watching her for me at that time. So it's a lot of stuff that goes into my daily routines and my routines like that. So as I'm getting her ready, and like we're literally about to like walk out the door, because I'm thinking that, hey, like I have a little bit of time, I can be extra early a little bit, you know? So I get, my phone is blown up. My phone is blowing up with calls, missed calls, and text messages from Karen. And at the time, I did have, you know, the ungrateful roommate that I had. We're gonna name her Vicky. So at the time, I did have Vicky living with me, and Vicky was telling me that Karen was blowing her line up too. And I'm like, well, why? I'm like, so I'm reading the messages, and Karen's like, where are you? You're supposed to be here. What's happening? What's going on? Where are you? You're supposed to be at work right now. Why are you late? And like, you know, you can read when people have attitudes in text messages or emails. Like, you should never assume, but you know, you can tell when somebody has an attitude. And Karen always had an attitude when she was talking to not just me, to everybody. Like, this is how she would treat her workers. So I'm like, what? So I'm telling her, I'm like, yeah, I'm on my way. I'm coming. Like, what are you talking about? And she's like, you were supposed to be at work at like 9 or something like that. Like, she was telling me, oh, you're supposed to be this, and you're supposed to let me know when you're gonna be late. You're supposed to let me know. And then I'm like telling her or whatever, and I just don't get another text message back from her. And then Vicky decides to say, oh, well, she was telling me about the delays the day before we had the delay, and she was like, oh, we supposed to come in this time. And like, I was like, well, I came in at, you know, the time that I said, 10:30. The last time we had a 2-hour delay and nobody said anything to me, which was correct. Nobody said anything to me when I came in. Everybody just said it was the norm. So I'm like, okay. And I'm like, well, I came in at this time the last time and nobody said anything. So it's whatever. I'm like, at the end of the day, if I'm late, I'm late. You know what? I'm still coming. It doesn't really, it's not that big of a deal. I had like a little attitude because it's like she just, like, Karen just really made me not like working at the place that I work. And like, what I was doing, I love to do, but it's like dealing with people like her was just making me not like this place, not like to deal with any of the people. I love the kids, like kids, I love kids, but dealing with people, catty people, I am not with it. I had to deal with that all throughout high school, so why would I want to work with catty stuff too? I'm not with it. So I already had like a little attitude because Karen was already like, you know, on my case for no reason. So I get to work, and I thought that Karen was gonna ask me into her office, but she did not. So I just went ahead and went into my the room that I'm supposed to be working in, and Vicky went in her room that she's supposed to be working in, and nobody was literally there. But it was like other students, you know, the kids was there, and like they're all looking at me, and it's like they all looking at me like I am the head teacher, or like I'm supposed to, like, that they can't go on without me. You know, it was like that. And I'm like, what the heck? And I'm like, I was the only person who was there, you know what I'm saying, who was supposed to be in like the room assigned to me. My kids, they were in another different room. So I'm like, why y'all couldn't just come into the room that I'm supposed to be in and sit with them? Like, y'all making it a whole big deal. So I'm like, you know what, whatever. I get my kids, I go into my room, I'm with this other lady, and then she decides to go take the kids over to her room because I made them late. All right, I really don't care. So I'm going about my day. You know what, the head teacher decides to come in, and like the other assistant teacher. I am not an assistant teacher. I'm not the head teacher. I'm a substitute. Nobody knew that I was a substitute. Why nobody knew I was a substitute? I don't know why nobody knew I was a substitute. Nobody knew what my job description was. Nobody knew. So my head teacher decides to come over to me, and she's telling me, you know, the policy about the 2-hour delay when it snows, when we have early releases. And I'm like, why are you telling me this now? Because at the end of the day, Karen never told me the policy of, you know, delays or early release. Nobody told me any type of policies like that. Nobody said nothing to me like that. Nobody, they didn't train me. People asking me, oh, are you still on training? And I'm like, training for what? Nobody trained me. Nobody told me any policies, nothing like that. So it was very a lot of, you know, lack of information. Now, I wasn't upset with my head teacher for telling me that. I'm like, thanks, whatever. You know, she's like the manager of the room, I guess. So she's supposed to have all her, you know, teachers and stuff like that in check, I guess. I really don't care. So I'm continuing my day. And, you know, I'm a great worker. You know, anything they asked me to do, I did it with no hesitation. Did I want to do it? No, I did not want to do it. I just wanted to, you know, be with the kids. But I was washing stuff and doing stuff like that. That really wasn't in my job description. But, hey, I was doing it because I needed the money. Don't ever do that. I get phoned in by Karen. Now, I'm thinking Karen wanted to send me to another room, because Karen always did that. She would ask me to go fill in for other people in other different rooms because my room had enough people to cover for the kids. And or she would ask me questions, stuff like that, because I was new, but I was old. So, like, if that makes sense. Because I didn't think that she would call me in to talk about what happened this morning. Mind you, there was other teachers who were late, because we were all in like a group text, and there was other teachers who was late, and like one of the teachers was like, my car is in snow, I'm trying to get the snow off, and she's like, basically like, oh, well, that's your problem, you're supposed to be here. So, like, she was very rude about it. So she calls me into her office. I go into her office, she tells me to sit down, and I'm like, you know, I'm not thinking that she would was gonna talk about what happened this morning. So she's like, so I'm just trying to figure out, this is exactly how she says it, so I'm just trying to figure out, like, what happened this morning? Like, what was going through your mind this morning? Like, why didn't you think to call me? Why didn't you think to text me and tell me that you were going to be late? So I'm just trying to get your side of the story, because I'm not sure what didn't click in your mind, what didn't go through, like, why this happened. And she's like, so I'm telling her the story, and like I'm telling her exactly what happened and what I thought and this and that. And she's like, that's exactly what she does. She does. And she's like, but I told Vicky about the 2-hour delay thing the other day, and Vicky told me that was ugly. Vicky told me that she told you, and you just decided not to listen to that, and that you just brushed it off. So basically, Vicky's dumbass gonna throw me under the bus and be like, oh, it's all Mimi's fault. I had nothing to do with this because I ride with Mimi to work. So Mimi's the one who made us late. I told her and she didn't care. Basically, she just threw my ass under the fucking bus. So I'm telling her, I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to take Vicky's word for it because Vicky literally just started working here and you're the boss. So I'm like, why is it Vicky's responsibility to be telling me something that you, as a boss, that you should be telling me? And so I'm telling her this and I'm explaining, and she just like, okay, that's all. And basically dismisses me out of her chair. And so like I pause because I'm trying to take everything in, because I'm like, yes, I am the youngest working here, but what you're not going to do is talk to me like I'm one of these little kids in this place, and what you're not going to do is talk to me like I'm stupid and like I'm dumb and I can't have a conversation. So I'm like, pause, and like I'm still sitting down and she's just staring at me so that I can leave, and I'm like trying to take it all in, because normally what I do is like I get really mad. Like if this was high school or like 4 years ago me, I would flip that shit over. But I'm like, I'm in a professional setting, I'm with all these old ass people, I need to remain calm. So I'm sitting down and I'm just taking a deep breath, and I'm like, okay, and I just get up and I leave and I go straight towards the bathroom. And I start bawling my eyes out, face turning red, eyes turning red. I am crying. I'm very emotional. I'm very sensitive, I guess. So it's like when I'm mad, I cry. When I'm sad, I cry. When I'm happy, I cry. I cry. Like, I'm a big cry baby. I cry. When I want to punch you, I cry. Like, I cry. Crying. And then I'm like, okay, Tamia, I know you're not letting this old ass lady make you cry. So I'm trying to get myself together because I know that I have to go back into my regular room, and I don't want them to be all up in my business, asking what happened and stuff like that. So I go back in the room, and of course, you know, they want to be in my business, and they're asking me what happened. They can see that my face, you know, looks red still. My eyes look red. They can tell basically that I was crying. And so they ask what's wrong, and I tell them, and then I start breaking out crying in front of them. And it was very embarrassing for me, because I don't like to think of coworkers as friends. I mean, they can, but like I didn't think of these coworkers as friends or close enough to me that I can like cry in front of them, you know what I'm saying? Like, we wasn't that close. I try to keep business, you know what I'm saying? So they're like rubbing my back and like telling me it's okay, and that Karen is very rude to people, and that she just has lack of communication, and then wants to blame the workers for her mistakes, and that she doesn't know how to talk to people, and like she just lacks communication, and that there was time that they wanted to cry because Karen was very rude to them and stuff like that. And I'm like, so y'all know this, and y'all just sit here and let her talk to you the way that she does, and let her treat y'all the way that she does. I'm like, I'm not like that, and I'm not going to work at a place where they don't respect everybody equally. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just not into that. So I'm just taken back, because I'm like, why am I being blamed over something that was not that serious, not that deep? It's not like the world was going to end because I'm late. You know what I'm saying? It's not like people are going to die because I'm late. You know what I'm saying? Like, and for her to be like, you know, like act like I'm stupid. Like, oh, but why didn't you think to call me, and this, that, and the other? Why didn't you think to ask what the policy was? It shouldn't be my place to ask the boss. You know what I'm saying? The boss is supposed to, you're a boss, you know, and you shouldn't be telling nobody else to tell me nothing else if you're the boss. Like, you're the boss, don't tell Vicky to tell me nothing. Like, if I don't hear from the boss, I'm not going to believe it, and that's period. Period. You want me to know something, you tell me. It doesn't matter if that person lives with me or not. I need to hear it from the boss, because you're the one who hired me. You're the one who pays me. You're the one who tells me stuff to do. Like, you ain't had no problem with telling me stuff to do all the other time. So I'm not understanding. So yeah, you guys, that is how my ex-boss made me cry. Real tears, y'all, at work. It was that place. Oh my God. She probably still works there too, and I just, you know, it's beyond me now. It's beyond me now, because I don't know. Like, if y'all don't learn nothing from this video, one thing I want y'all to know is that don't work or don't settle at a place just for money. And that goes for like working and people in general. Don't settle for a person because they have this type of lifestyle or they can bring this to you, blah, blah, blah. Don't settle. If you are not happy if you're not in the right mental place, do not settle for nothing, because you need to know your worth. And obviously back then I did not know my worth, and I just settled for anything because I needed money at the time. And now I can really care less. So don't ever say I didn't teach you nothing. So you guys, yeah, I hope you guys like the story time. I will see y'all in the next one. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye. Mwah.